Greetings, fellow disappointed Paul Freese fans. Tiki here.
Jacob Wile too.
And welcome to another edition of Tiki's Universe, the show where we react and respond and review all kinds of different current animated programming. Jacob, we've got quite the lineup. My God, between, let's see, Star vs. Force of Evil, Milo Murphy's Law, Steven Universe, Tangled the series, Big Hero 6, the new DuckTales, Woohoo. Let's see, and then Samurai Jack as well. Oh my God, we've got our hands full.
But are we really going to do Samurai Jack?
We are really doing Samurai Jack, my friend.
Awesome.
We are going back to the past. Samurai Jack. Yeah. Okay. that should totally be the outro. And until next time, kids, don't forget, go back to the past.
All right.
Jack. Oh God. Yeah. Okay, but folks, we are here to talk about Star vs. Force of Evil. Jacob, I am a little behind. You have seen all the episodes that have come out thus far this week. I have only seen this one. This is an episode that I have been hyping up all week, and Jacob, this is a bit of a whammy for me.
Yeah, I wasn't really expecting a Paul Frees or Corey Burton cameo or something, anything like that.
Yeah, but even still, I feel like if you're gonna give the episode a title like Mathmagic, to be honest with you, I actually think Running with Scissors paid more of an homage to Mathmagic Land than this did. You know why? Because Running with Scissors, if you look, Running with Scissors, I forgot to mention this in the podcast we did about that episode. Fantastic episode. But the trees in the Hekapoo area of Running with Scissors actually have the upside-down square roots, just like at the start of Donald Duck and Mathmagic Land. Square roots! So... I mean, Jacob, what can I say, man? It's like no Donald Duck cameo anywhere, no Corey Burton doing his best Paul Frees impression. And I'm not just let down about this episode because of that. I'm just like, this episode, it's interesting. It's definitely got kind of like a Rick and Morty vibe to it with the time loop stuff going on. But in the end, it definitely feels like I'll definitely give it this. It's totally a step beyond the garbage dump that we got out of the frickin' Preston Changeo episode. I really, that episode just didn't do anything for me. So this episode, we had a few good things. You want to touch on some of your highlights here?
Well, the overall message of the episode is like, even though you're wrong, it might be wrong. It's a good idea to keep trying. And to learn from your mistakes.
That might be a good message in theory, Dragon, but I'm more on Star side of this one because I struggle at math, I fail at math, and trust me, there is only one right answer in math. In a college math class, you don't get credit for trying.
I know, but she's not in college yet. But
oh, I know, but I don't know. As a college student, I think that message is a little misguided. What do I know?
Trust me, I mean, I was in college too. I'm not a big fan of math either.
Your mom goes to college. I'm sorry. I'm terribly sorry. Okay.
The design of Omnitrex's Prime was pretty cool.
Omnitrex's Prime, in general, was a cool character. Jacob, I'm sorry to harp on this, man. I'm really sorry to harp on this. But this would have been the perfect character to give the Paul Frees, the Corey Burton Paul Frees voice to.
Maybe.
If they're really going to call it Mathmagic Land, you've got to have that Paul Frees presence. I don't know, man. I don't know. I realize that I sound like a freaking madman, like raving about, like, oh, they didn't have my Paul Frees cameo, but I expected a lot from this episode.
To give the episode some credit, and it's like, usually the episodes aren't initially titled when they're in production. They're usually given their titles before they air.
Fair enough, because Mathmagic is definitely a catchy title that made me, like, really excited to watch it. So it did its job in that regard for sure.
Well,
so let's see. I mean, I definitely think the best part of the episode was like the last third where she's back in the classroom and it's like all these crazy dimensional warps are happening. We see like Kitty Star and then Goth Star and then Puberty Star and all kinds of different interpretations, like Fancy Princess Star. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was interesting. And then we see all the students as well. Like at one point, they're a herd of like buffalo or something, and then they're like dogs. Animation wise, it's fun. Concept wise, it is fun. It is interesting. I do like the whole, struggle in Star's head where she kind of inadvertently creates that time loop with the magic to sort of get out of having to solve the math problem, but then kind of getting herself deeper in that. Like, that's interesting, Jacob. I actually really do like the writing of the episode in that regard, how it was able to actually get us into the time loop.
It's like Groundhog's Day meets math.
A little bit. There's also just a hint of Mandela effect going on here, where it's like, especially with Marco, where we have that running gag of like, wait a minute, I thought you said you had to study for a test. There's a test. It's like Marco like is constantly changing up if he has to study for test or if he needs it for homework. I actually thought that was a really subtle gag that was very funny. I appreciated that.
Yeah. And I kept panicking at the end, like, I get his stuff wrong too.
Let me see. Jana was on point this episode. I really liked her and her misguided "why did the chicken cross the road" jokes.
How many of them were there?
I don't know, Jacob. I might want to make a point to go in and count at some point, because that would be a fun experiment. Like list off all of Jana's "why did the chicken cross the road" jokes, just in order. That'd be fun.
There's like the original one, how to get to the other side. Then there's like to get exercise. Like,
so good. But my personal favorite was because the beak. It's just like the lamer the better in that situation. I don't know. I'm really warming up to Jana. I've warmed up to Jana pretty much throughout season 2. She's a really fun side character.
But she shouldn't quit her day job.
I guess. Yeah, I mean, I guess the math magic part of the episode is what really kind of, I don't know, it ends up being a time loop, and they don't really spend much time in the actual Mathmagic Land part of it. But then again, the episode's not called Mathmagic Land, it's just called Mathmagic. So maybe that was one of the weird Mandela things I was kind of like putting onto I was like, oh, this episode must be called Mathmagic Land, right? Why wouldn't it be? It's like, nope, Tiki's just stupid. All right. Overall, Jacob, that's about all I got for this episode. It's solid, and like I said, it's definitely a step above stuff like Red Belt and the Trick Star, whatever the hell that freaking Preston Changeout nonsense was.
I mean, there wasn't really inherently wrong.
But it's definitely not in the upper tier of episodes like Raid the Cave or Running with Scissors or Ludo in the Wild. So it's a good middle of the road.
Like I said, there's nothing inherently awful about this episode.
Yeah, for sure.
At least in our general opinions.
Okay, so Jacob, what is coming up?
All right, next up is, I believe, the Bounce Lounge episode.
Bounce Lounge, yes. Now, I have not seen this, Jacob. You have. You want to give me a tease of it without giving anything away?
It's Ponyhead's upset because the Bounce Lounge is closing soon.
Okay, so Ponyhead antics. All right. Sounds good.
So she and Star gathered the old Bounce Lounge gang to try and keep it from closing.
Alrighty then. Alrighty. So, Jacob, thanks a lot for joining me. And Disney, please, for the next time you go to Mathmagic, get Paul Frees, get Corey Burden, please. That's right, Star. It's called Long Division.